throughout my life, and if it had not been for mentors, two in particular, I wouldn't be standing here today. When I was in college, there was a gentleman in high school, there was a gentleman who took me under his wing. If it wasn't for him, I wouldn't have gotten that college scholarship. There was a gentleman who took me under his wing when I was at Mars Hill and later at Campbell Law School, who I ended up going to work with. That's the Honorable District Attorney Ron Moore in Asheville, North Carolina. He took me under his wing. If it had not been for him, I wouldn't be practicing law. So mentorship is something that was in my life. It was important to me. It helped me in my survival. And it is so important for us to go out into the community and begin to mentor our young men. I want you to repeat after me. It's possible.
It's possible.
It's possible that I can have anything, that I can be anything that I want to be. Say it.
It's possible that I can be anything that I want to be.
It's possible that I can live my dream.
It's possible that I can live my dream.
It's possible.
It's possible.
I don't like that. The judge has ordered you to say it louder. It's possible.
It's possible.
I want you to say that every morning when you wake up. I want you to say that every morning when you wake up. You got to condition your mind that it's possible. You might not be able to say that you can do it, but you can say that it's possible. I want to talk to you about two things today. I'm going to try to move fast. One is vision, and the other is character. They are essential elements to success, leadership, partnership, and mentorship. When I think of vision, I'm thinking of where are you going? What do you want to be? What is your plan to get there? The Bible says that without vision, the people will perish. You have to know where you're going. You have to know what you want to be. I tell the young people that I talk to that if you're trying to go to Miami, Florida, you can't get on 95 and turn north. You end up in Maine if you keep driving. To go to Miami, you got to map it out that you're going south. And since it probably takes about 13 hours from here, you might want to know where you want to stop. You make sure there's a room if you decide to stop in Jacksonville or maybe Savannah. That's what I'm talking about when I talk about a vision. Where are you going? Where do you want to be? Well, Judge, why do you need a vision? Because success is a lonely road. You're not going to find a lot of people walking that road. Sometimes you're going to be by yourself. And you need to have something that you can go back and you can look at and know that you're on the right path. Why else do you need a vision? Because a vision allows you to enhance your gifts and your talents. Everybody in this room has been given a gift and talent by God. But if you don't have a vision on how to use it, you won't enhance it. You won't reach your potential in that gift and that talent. Imagine, if you will, being on your deathbed. And standing around you are the ghosts of your gifts and your talents. And they're looking at you with big, white, angry eyes. And they're saying to you, we came to you to make us happy. We didn't come to anybody else. We came to you to make us happy. And you died without glorifying God with your gifts and your talents. The graveyard is one of the richest places on earth because so many people have not used their gifts and their talents. They have not put to fruition their ideas, their inventions. And it's because they had no vision in their life. Napoleon Hill, the author of Think and Grow Rich, says, cherish your visions and your dreams as they are the children of your soul and the blueprint of your ultimate achievement. So how do we reach our vision?
How do we achieve our vision? I look at it like this. If I can see it, if I can say it, if I believe it, and if I act as if it already happened, it's going to happen. So let's unpack that for a second. If I can see it, I'm simply talking about visualization. Visualizing it. Visualizing it every day. Visualizing you being a success at what it is you are trying to achieve. Daydreaming, if you will. Go find that quiet place and close your eyes and see yourself becoming what you want to be. You have to see yourself becoming what you want to be in advance. 1 year down the line, 2 years down the line, 3 years down the line, 5 years down the line. You have to see it for it to happen. The great Michael Jordan used to visualize every game from beginning to end. And then after every game, during that visualization, he would see himself shooting the winning shot. If you go back and listen to some of his interviews, you will hear him say after the reporter asked him, well, how did you feel about that shot? And he would say, I've seen it 1,000 times in my mind. The great Tiger Woods not doing so well now, but the great Tiger Woods, if you'll watch him when he's preparing in his pre-shot routine, he will take the club and he will move it in a particular pattern. And what he's doing is he's visualizing the shot. And he's moving the club in the way necessary to make that shot happen. The great Alabama coach Nick Saban, his entire football team does almost in a separate course on these type of mental techniques like visualization. So a lot of people use it. It's a very effective tool. I visualize this today. Before I take the bench, I visualize it. When you visualize, use all your senses and your emotion. Young people, you want to be a doctor? Go to the hospital. Walk around in there. Hear the sounds of the doctors being paged. Smell the smells. The hospital has a very peculiar smell. Look at how people are dressed. And when you're visualizing it, visualize it that way. Invoke every sense that you can have. When I'm talking about senses, I'm talking about the ability to see and hear and touch and taste. Invoke every sense that you can have in your visualization. Visualize past successes. If you've been successful in a particular endeavor, visualize it. And invoke the emotion that you felt. How did you feel? Did your chest swell up with pride? Did you feel confident? When you're visualizing, invoke that emotion. When you see yourself being a successful lawyer, a successful doctor, a successful coach, police chief, school board member, small business person, invoke the emotion that you get, the pride, the joy. Whatever we plant in our subconscious mind and nourish with repetition and emotion will one day become a reality. Next thing I'm talking about is say it. Say it. Here I'm talking about positive affirmations. Jesus said, you shall speak and that mountain will be removed. The power of the spoken word is enormous. One of the members talked about it earlier, talking to kids, talking negative to kids. It's amazing how you can affect yourself and how you can affect the others around you with what comes out of your mouth. If you want to talk negative, you're going to be negative. If you want to speak positive, you'll be positive. It's simply a spiritual law. Say it to someone else or someone that you know. Tell them what you're going to do. Find someone that you can trust, someone that will hold you accountable to your statement. And say it to them. I'm going to be a football player. I want you to help me do that. I want you to hold me accountable. Say it to yourself over and over again. It's possible. When you use your affirmations, use no negatives. No negatives in your affirmations. For example, young people, if I want to be a better defensive player when I'm playing basketball, then what I say to myself is when I bend my knees and get on my toes, I play good defense. There's no negatives in there. I don't say, if I don't get low, I don't play good defense. I don't want any negatives in my affirmations. I want action words, and I want to talk about what I need to do in order to make it happen. Surround yourself with positive words. One of the things that I do, to give you one of my tips. You might be worth some, might not be. I found an actual valuable use for YouTube. So on YouTube, they have these, they're like mini movies where individuals have taken words for movies, like inspired words for movies, or Rockies and different types of movies, and they put them to music, inspirational videos, or motivational videos. I have about 25 of them on my phone. I listen to them about 2 to 3 times a week. If I'm out in the yard, I got it on. I'm out there talking to myself. My wife's looking at me like I'm crazy. But I'm repeating it in my mind. If I don't listen to them, I feel it in my spirit. And I turn them on. It's been a very effective tool for me. I know some of you can't rid yourself from all negative people in your life. I know that some of my young sons out here, I know that's tough because your mama, your daddy, your grandpa, your cousin, whoever, they might be negative. You can't move out. But there's 2 things you got to understand. First, people are mostly negative because they don't want you to be successful, because that brings to their mind their failures. So they don't want you to be successful because the ghost of their gifts and talents are visiting them every night. And so therefore, they're negative. So first of all, understand why. Second of all, understand this. Shakespeare said it. He said, nothing is good or bad, but thinking makes it so. Nothing is good or bad, but thinking makes it so. I used to tell my football teams when I coached defense, I used to say, if the offense turns the ball over, when you break it down, it's our solutions that make us different. It's our solutions that make us different. If somebody's hurt you, recycle that pain. I recycle my pain every day. A police officer came in my house when I was about 7. I just found out that I had a half-sister. I didn't know that she existed. She came over and stayed with us for the summer. We went to the carnival together. She won a pink teddy bear in one of those carnival games. The police executed a search warrant at my house, looking for my dad's stash. They were in my bedroom. My mom was with me. And one of the police officers grabbed that pink teddy bear. And she said, is there any drugs in this teddy bear? And my mom was like, no, that's my son's teddy bear. No drugs in there. She took out a knife, stuck it, drug it right down the middle of the teddy bear. She opened it up. With no drugs in there. She dumped it on the ground like it didn't matter. I remember crying for hours. recycle that pain. What I mean by that is use it to motivate you. Don't put your head down. Don't put your tail between your legs. Recycle your pain. Make it worth something because you've already felt it. You can't take it away. So you might as well find a positive use for it. When things don't go right, use it as an opportunity to prove your greatness, to strengthen your testimony. Believe it. You got to believe it. Arguably, this could be number one, because if you don't believe it, it ain't going to happen. It's not going to happen if you don't believe it. And when I talk about belief, I'm talking about faith. I'm talking about the substance of those things hoped for and the evidence of those things unseen. That's how strong your belief has to be every day in what you're trying to do. Let's unpack that for a second. A substance, water, gas, oil, is something that you can see. It's something that you can feel running through your fingers. It's something that you can take your finger in and put it to your mouth and taste. Y'all get where I'm going? All the senses. If you hear it running, if it's pouring, you can actually hear it. Hope for something that's never happened before. If you're hoping for it, it ain't happened. But your belief is so strong that there's a physical manifestation of what you're trying to achieve. That's the substance. Evidence of those things unseen. There's between these two gentlemen up front, and nobody can see him, then nobody would believe me that he was there without evidence. Right? But your belief is so strong that there's a physical manifestation of what you believe. All of a sudden, you see it materialize around you. Things start falling into place. I want a business. I found a building. I couldn't get bank financing, so I went to a second source and I got financing. It happens if you believe it. Why is that so important? Number one, you won't pay the cost if you don't believe it. You won't pay the cost. One of my sons, Jalen, was an aspiring quarterback. He's up at Union now. Walked on the football team, made it. But he wanted to play quarterback. Well, being a football coach, I thought a pretty good one. I had laid all this stuff out for him to do. And